How are you all? Hope you are fine, and I welcome you to our SST class. So, yesterday we have already finished with the reading part of lesson number 3 of your civics, that is types of government, and under it we have learned democratic form of government, and I have told you that it will be studied in detail in your coming chapters. So today we are here with the chapter number 4 of civics, that is democratic government. So we will be studying the things coming under democratic government in more detail. So let's start. So let me tell you first the key points that we will be studying in this chapter. So we will be beginning with the origin of the word democratic. We will be studying from where has this word come and what is the meaning of this word. Then after that we will be studying some of the salient features of democracy. Apartheid movement, that is racism that was prevalent in South Africa, we will be studying about that, case study will do. Then after that we will be studying about that, we all know and I have discussed also that we people have the ultimate power in hands in the democratic form of government, and we have the power to elect our representatives. So we have a right to participate in the election. So we will be studying about the participation of the people and the various other ways in which they can participate in making the government more responsible towards them. Like they can have rallies, they can have strikes. So we will be studying all these things. Apart from them, we will be studying about public opinion, which is a very forceful instrument. Then we will be studying the meaning of conflict. What is a conflict? We have already studied and discussed that there can be a dispute between two states on any matter, since although the powers are clearly demarcated between the central and the state government, but then there can be some situations in which there can arise a conflict. And so what is conflict and how it arises, what can be the situation, and then need to resolve. So what is the need to resolve and how we can resolve it, how our government take steps or make laws. So all this we will be studying with the help of the example that is there in your books, that is on the water dispute of the sea. So then we will be studying the last topic in your book, that is equality and justice, which is very important or essential feature of democratic form of government. These two terms, equality and justice, they are inseparable. They just go hand in hand. So this also is important feature of democracy. So all these come under your democratic government. If a government has to run smoothly and peacefully, then all these things are very necessary for a democratic government. So we will be studying all this. I will just show you a clip. Just enjoy the clip. So are you all ready with me? Okay, so let's start.
The fourth chapter of class 6 civics, that is key elements of a democratic government. Now before discussing the key elements of a democratic government, we should know, or we should first let's discuss some of the roles of the government. Government is a constitutional body that maintains law and order. It consists of the representatives of all classes from all parts of the country. Problems or any type of conflicts which arises in states or between two countries or between two nations, it is being managed by government. The government represents the country and also the head of the constitutional system. So it can resolve conflicts in the interest of the people at a large. A system without a government may face crisis and lawlessness. Hence government is necessary. So by this explanation, you got an idea that yes, every country, every state will definitely need a government. Now not only this, government also makes laws and enforces them to abolish all sorts of discrimination. Discrimination we have already discussed in previous lessons. It also makes provisions to provide equal facilities to all classes of people, or you can say promotion of education among girls and economically backwards. Now move to some of the key ideals of a democratic government before starting the lesson. See, in a democratic government, all peoples are considered equal. The first point, Second is justice is given to all. Third is opportunity is given in education and it's equally given to all. Fourth is abolition of discrimination. Fifth is equal status to all religions. And last is abolition of untouchability. This is not only the last, there are many, but according to the syllabus we will discuss only these points. Now here you can see it is written, in this chapter you will read about some of the key elements that influence the working of a democratic government. So we have already discussed in short. These include people's participation, the resolution of conflict, and equality and justice. This also we have discussed. Now, starting the lesson, here we are going to talk about South Africa, which is a country and that has people of several races. Everybody know that there are black people who belong to South Africa, whites who came there to settle, and Indians who came as laborers and traders. Now there is a girl, Maya Naidu. She is an 11-year-old South African girl and she is living in the town of Johannesburg. And she used to help her mother, means she was helping her mother in clearing up the old boxes. While she was clearing the old boxes, she found a scrapbook. Okay, scrapbook, if you had seen, it's just like a collage where you can paste the pictures and it can be stored in the form of a memory. So Maya Naidu found a scrapbook full of pictures and some of the newspaper articles. Now she looked at the picture and there were many pictures of young schoolboy that were, means those boys were around 15 years of age. So she was, because she was a child and she was of 11 years old, so she was very curious to know. So she asked her mother that who are these boys? So she was told by her mother that, about one particular boy, that his name is Hector Peterson. He had been shot by the police. So hearing this from her mother that boy Hector Peterson was shot by the police, Maya, this 11-year-old South African girl, was shocked. Now the question is why? Okay. Then again she asked to her mother that why that particular boy was shot by the police. So her mother explained that, in South Africa earlier, it was governed by apartheid laws. Now we will see what does apartheid laws mean. Apartheid means separation on the basis of race. Earlier, the South African people were divided into white, black, Indian and colored races. According to the law, these races were not allowed to mingle, means mix with each other. Mingle means not allowed to communicate or develop a bond or any type of relationship with each other. Neither they were allowed to live near each other or even to use any common public facilities or any common facilities. Hearing this, Maya could not believe her ears. Maya mother told Maya that in those days, hospitals were two separate and ambulances. And there was an ambulance which was meant for white people. And that ambulance was always well equipped. Okay. And it was not allowed for the black people. So you can see here a form of discrimination. She also mentioned that there were separate trains and buses. Even the bus stops were different from black and white people. Just imagine if that type of situation existed today, then what would have happened? Means today, if black students or white students are not allowed to sit together in the class, then you just imagine. Okay, moving on. Next, non-whites. Maya Naidu mother also explained about the non-whites people. She said that non-whites were not allowed to vote. In fact, the best land in the country was reserved for the white people. And she also said that blacks and the colored people were not considered to be equal to whites. Means overall you should understand that the non-white people and the black white people were treated different from the white people. Moving on the next paragraph. Here it is mentioning about one black township, that was the southwestern township, Soweto. And here she is describing about that particular boy, about whom she told to her daughter. That boy name was Hector Peterson. So she is telling that Hector Peterson lived there, where? Southwestern Township, Soweto. And he and his classmates joined the protest against learning the Afrikaans language in the school. And this was the language that the whites spoke. So overall, Hector and the other school students, they wanted to learn their language, which was Zulu, but they were forced to learn the language that white people used to speak. In fact, the South African people beat up the protesters mercilessly and shot at the crowd. One of their bullets killed Hector, and this was on 16 June 1976. Means while protesting for the equality, in terms of each and everything, not only learning the language, everything, this boy was shot. Next paragraph is about the African National Congress. It was a group of people who led the struggle against apartheid, and their most well-known leader name was Nelson Mandela. You would have heard about Nelson Mandela in many classes. So Nelson Mandela fought the apartheid system for several years. Finally, he succeeded in 1994. South Africa then became a democratic country in which people of all races were considered equal. So here we can praise the efforts of the Nelson Mandela, because of whom South African people are living, living freely without facing any type of discrimination, and now everybody is considered equal and is enjoying the equality. Next heading is participation. Now in participation,
Now, what is the role of people in the government? How do they participate? See, you can see this queue. So they all are waiting for their turn to cast their vote. The people, they play an important role in the proper functioning of a democratic government. As I earlier said, that democratic government is a government by the people, for the people and of the people. So this process, they are choosing their government by casting their vote, which includes election. These are the images of elections in somewhere in India, as well as working and decision making responsibility of the government. In democracy, people cast their vote to elect their representative who take decisions on behalf of the people. The government is elected for a period of 5 years in India. In other countries, the period may differ. It can be 4 years, it can be 6 years. But in our country, India, the term of the government is 5 years. All government are elected for a fixed period. You know why this fixed period has been fixed for the government? It is because this period, once elected, government can stay in power only for that period. If they want to continue to be in power, then they have to be re-elected by the people after 5 years. This is a moment when people can sense their power in democracy. In this way, the power of the government gets limited by regular election. What happens if we elect some government for lifetime? They may do the wrong things, right, which are not good for the citizen and the country. And after 5 years, everybody has to come down of their post, and they have to fight again in the election. If the leaders, if the government has done good things and the progressive things for the people and the country, they will surely get re-elected next time. But if the government is being involved in corruption and other misleading things, then the people will be very aware and they will not elect the government which was in the power earlier times. So they will give this chance to some other and some new government. That's why this period of 5 years is very important in a democracy. Social movements. Now, people express their views in many ways. One of that way is dharna. This image is of very famous social worker Anna Hazare, and he used to sit in dharnas and still sitting in dharnas for many days without eating and drinking anything. and he is forcing government, he is advising and giving suggestion to government to implement Lokpal bill. The Lokpal bill is related to the government officials who are involved in corruption, so that all sort of charges be put on them and they should be put behind the bars if they are found in some corruption involved activities. Other way the people can express their views and their thoughts is strike or band. What happens if people are not supporting some government rule, some government law? What they do, they shut down their occupation. Suppose this is a market, right? And the government has increased the tax on the clothes or any other commodity, then what the people of this shops, this market area, they do, they shut down their shops for 1 or 2 or more than 2-3 days, and this way the economy of the country, it gets affected and it goes into loss. And then what happens, government is pressured to change their rules. Other way to express their views is like taking out rallies and campaign. This is one picture of the rally, how people take out the rallies when they support or when they oppose any government rule. This is an example of one of the rally being done by activists of Bharatiya Kisan Union, and they demonstrate outside the secretariat to protest against the power shortage during the paddy transplantation season. And thereafter what happened, government heard their suggestion, heard their voice, and they did not cut short the power supply of that particular area. Recognition of minority. What minority is? Minority means minimum. The people who are less in number, they are known as minority. Suppose women, they are less in our country. We have 900 something women per 1000 male in India. So women are also considered to be the minorities, and Dalit, they are also considered to be minorities. Other than Dalit, Adivasis, they are also the minority people. So what happens, the people who already are maximum in number, they get lot of privileges, they have a lot of facilities already with them. But if we'll not do something for these minority communities, the government or the country will never progress equally, right? A vehicle also move when all the four wheels or the two wheels are equal in size or are running in the same speed. Similarly, we cannot upgrade and do the progress of only the non-minority people. We also think about the minority people, and this is what government does through their various programs and their various schemes. The democratic character of the government of a country would be stronger if the minority people participates in the process of government. That's why government has done the policy of reservation for the minority, so that the jobs which are meant only for these minority people would not be taken over, would not be grabbed by the other communities of the society. The minority community and Adivasis, they participate in the government by demanding the inclusion of Santhali language in the Constitution of India. These are the Santhali women, and what they did, they wanted to include their language, which is Santhali, in the Constitution of India. For this, they also did a long campaigning against the government. Finally, government heard their voice and their language Santhali, it was included in the Constitution of India. There are 22 languages in our 8th schedule of Constitution, and these are all official languages, right? And see here, Santhali, it also has been included after the voice raised by the Santhali people. What other things government do? Government also tries to maintain peace and order in any town or any city. Suppose some Hindu rally, Hindu procession is going on through some road, and the same time from the other side some Muslim rally is coming ahead. Then what happens? The both community, they when they face each other, they clash with each other because of the some nuisance and some uh, people who are against all these, against the other region, they create nuisance and they become violent while seeing the other community procession going on. So in such cases, what government do, they maintain peace and order, and every religion, before taking out any procession, before taking out any rally on the road, they have to take the permission of district collector or any authority that is on the district level, and district magistrate, they decide that at one time, at one day, there should be only one rally should go, so that such violent things should not occur on the roads. And if somehow such incidents occur, then what happens? Government has provided for the police protection and other safety measures in the city, so that the people should not go violent and damage public property as well as public life.
Government conflicts. Conflicts. What are conflicts? Conflicts are fights or arguments. When people don't agree on something, they are said to be in conflict with each other. Protests are a part of democracy. Can that lead to conflicts? Yes. Sometimes protests do end up in big fights with stone throwing or even fires that are started. The government, and particularly the police, have to work hard to control these fights. Conflicts. What are the reasons for these conflicts? Conflicts are arguments. They can happen for so many reasons. Groups can fight based on religion, sharing resources, a law, and many other things. A river may flow through two or more states. How the water is shared between states can be a reason of conflict between two states. Look at the path of the Kaveri River. Karnataka has a dam on the river, and so does Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu does not get water unless Karnataka releases it. When Karnataka doesn't release it, there is a conflict. Who settles a fight between two state governments? The central government. The central government has to step in and work out a solution so that both states will share the water fairly. Think and discuss. Why do you think the government needs to find solutions to many conflicts? Key elements of a democratic government: equality and justice. Due to the old caste system, a lot of people were labelled as untouchables or Dalits and treated badly. In a democracy, it is important that everyone gets treated fairly, which is equality and justice. So, something has to be done for these people to reverse the wrong. For that, all people must be considered equal. No one is allowed to treat Dalits badly anymore. If anyone does, they can be punished by the law. Dalits are also given special admissions to colleges and in jobs. This is called reservation. Reservations are for the weak. They are supposed to help them get stronger like other people. In many families, everyone cares for the boy child and ignores the girl child. So, the government tries to have lesser fees for girls so that the families will let them attend school and college. The government hopes that with this, families will stop treating girls as a burden. Think and discuss. What does the government do to ensure that all people are treated equally?
The key elements of a democratic government are equality and justice.
So, I hope that the concept is clear to you all. Now you can answer me if I ask you what is democratic government, and you can also answer me the various features of democratic government. So, that is all for today. So, I hope you have understood the concept, and Monday we will have live class as usual, and I'll be asking you questions based on this chapter. So just watch the video very carefully again if you don't understand anything, and just try to read the chapter once before we take up the reading part on Tuesday, so that the concept is more clear to you all. So I hope you will read the chapter. So that's all for today from my side. Stay safe, stay home.